Israel, let them know who they are. And also, you know, we got to get on these nations. We got to get on America, right? We got to expose them, you know, for who they are, right? And that's demons and devils, you know? Go to Isaiah 60 and 2. Right? You got a lot of wicked, look, I'm going to be real with you. They got a lot of wicked crap going on. A lot of wicked shiznit, you know? Got to keep it PG. Get Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2.
Bring it out!
Right? We're going to go in depth on what they do. Right? We got the documents. It's on YouTube. You got documentaries of it. So it's not a secret anymore. Right? So it's our job to relay the information back to you.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness. The gross darkness to people.
Right, and we got gross darkness on earth. You got a lot of wickedness. You got a lot of gay shit. It's like you got a lot of gay stuff going on. Right?
Bring it out.
You gotta keep it real. That's what's happening in darkness. Right? And you know, look, you go in that alley, you got some wicked acts going on. Because only wickedness happens in darkness. You know? Even at night, so that's literal and you know, spiritual. Right? We're spiritually in darkness. We got a huge veil over us. Go on.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Right. The Most High going to cast down their imaginations.
That's right.
You know, and turn everything upside down.
That's right.
Go to Isaiah, it's like Ezekiel 25 and 7.
Bring it out.
All right. Look, man, we had enough. I'm tired of seeing the NAMBLA. I'm tired of seeing these kings and princes on this earth doing wicked stuff. You know? It's vexing. 25 and 7.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25 and 7.
It was another one. It's gonna come back in my head. It was just in my head where it spoke about the Most High was gonna undo the veil. But basically, look, you got something called NAMBLA, and that's, check that out. You know that you can pause. For those who's watching at home, you can pause the video and you can read it, right? Somebody read this. Yeah, I was about to say. Somebody read that.
It's a NAMBLA. It reads North American Boy Love Association, founded in December 2nd, 1978 by David Thorstead. Its focus is a pedophile and pederasty activism. It say the North American Man-Boy Love Association is a pedophilia and pederasty advocacy organization in the United States. It works to abolish age of consent laws, criminalizing adult sexual involvement with minors. So in other words, they're trying to do away with the criminal laws involving minors. So if you got locked up for raping a minor, they trying to do away with them laws so you can get out scot-free. How wicked is that? It reads, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contact with minors that did not involve coercion. Right, so this is the wickedness that we up against, man. We up against pedophiles, pederasty, Greek love, Greek man-boy love. We up against all these spiritual wickedness in high places. And we're going to come out here and rebuke the so-called white man for being a goddamn devil on earth, man. Right.
And it also reads, around 1995, an undercover detective discovered there were 1,100 people on the organization rolls in 1997. NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, was the largest group in IPCE, an international pedophile activist organization. Since then, the organization has dwindled to only a handful of people, with many members joining online pedophile networks such as Dan Pedo, Boy Chat, and Annabella, according to Xavier Van Ert, Director of Opposition at the Anti-Pedophile Organization for Verdict Justice. So in other words, NAMBLA is a damn pedophile organization, man. Right? Advocating the love of man and boys. Alright? associated and founded by the so-called white man who's a goddamn devil, man.
That's right.
Right? There you go. You got the Greeks, man. Get that sound on the trash can. Detroit. You got the Greeks who some damn pedophile devils, man.
Hey, and what you're looking at is the spirit of Detroit.
That's right.
What the hell is the spirit of Detroit, man? That's wicked. You got a whole spirit dedicated to a city. That's a demon over there, man. And if you look closely, that's after the image of Esau, right? He got the sun in his hand, and he got the people in his other hand. And he probably got Jake that worship him. I've seen Jake that worship him. They take pictures with him. They exalt him. They put t-shirts on him. You know, they probably say he can speak. You know, this is a whole Bellin and Dragon all over again.
And it's more than that. It said it was founded, Salakia, the locations are New York City and San Francisco. Areas serve North America. And if you know anything about San Francisco, you know it's the home of transsexuals, homosexuals, white men, right? And also pedophiles, which we're reading about right now. It say the goals and positions of NAMBLA. Website state that it is a political, civil rights, and educational organization whose goal is to end the oppression of men and boys in mutual consensual relationships. Right, so first of all, you're not being oppressed, you being a damn devil, man.
That's right.
You trying to get with children and minors in a consensual relationship, and you say we oppressing you because we not letting you do your own thing, man. We not letting you be a pedophile, and you talking about you oppressed. It also reads, supporting and promoting man-boy relationships. The organization says that when consensual, these relationships are not harmful, nor amount to child sexual abuse. So basically they saying if it's consensual, if the child is okay with it, we can do it. Well, how the child gonna make proper judgment? He's a child, man. You just being a damn manipulating devil.
They say you gotta train up a child so he can know judgment and understanding. Right? You trying to force yourself with a baby or with a kid, he don't know nothing. You know, he wasn't really brought up into anything. So now that man, he's all scrambling up that baby's mind. You know, that little kid, you know, his brain is like an omelet now. He's fried. The same way, Salakia, Esau, they try to sleep with animals. And you know what they call it? They call it zoo. You know, I zoo. Do you zoo? You know, look, man. Do you zoo? That's what they're gonna start saying.
Salakia, make sure brothers watching the back, man. Got a lot of demons and spirits on this, man.
So Esau said, you know, I want to zoo this dog. You know, Z-O-O. Man, you want to rump it up. You know, rough it up.
Yeah.
You want to tear it up.
You know? Reading on.
Salakia, reading on,
It's a age of consent reform, what NAMBLA describes as empowerment of youth in all areas, not just the sexual. Right, so an age of consent reform. In other words, we don't want these children. So like in other words, they saying we want to have sex with little children, and you can't tell us not to do it. All right, got spirits out here, man. I heard somebody say Malachi, damn demon. In achieving these goals, NAMBLA aims to cooperate with the mainstream LGBT community and women's liberation movement, showing you that the LGBT community and women liberation movement all goes hand in hand with pedophilia, man. They try to issue in the molestation of little boys and little girls, man. You got to start somewhere. You got to crawl before you walk. That's why they're going to insinuate homosexuality on the earth. And then when that gets boring, then you're going to have people, well, let's have sex with little boys. This is the crafty counsels, and these are all the works of the spiritual demon Satan, manifested as the so-called white man on the earth.
That's right.
Reading on. Law enforcement officials and mental health professionals say that while NAMBLA membership numbers are small, the group has a dangerous ripple effect through the internet by sanctioning the behavior of those who would abuse children. So in other words, you got pedophiles coming through the internet, right? You might not see NAMBLA walking down the street like LGBT pride, but guess what? They're on the internet. And they sanctioning in harmful and predators, man. They sanctioning pedophiles who molest and rape little boys. And they trying to say it's okay to do it. No, you a damn devil, man. Most High gonna destroy you. And this is Salakia. This is a little bit of history. In December 1977, police raided a house in the Boston suburb Revere. 24 men were arrested and indicted on over 100 felony counts of the statutory rape of boys aged 8 to 15.
But Esau is one of the elect. Esau can make it. Esau's God.
Right. Hell.
This is the man that y'all believe in, who's known for doing and having all these accounts of being a sexual predator, even in the Catholic Church, even in the Pentagon,
Right.
even in the elite here, right? So everywhere you turn, you got an Esau being a pedophile. You know, they can't help themselves. They see a little Jake walk by, they start sweating. They start, got some drool on their lip. They can't help themselves. They want that baby, and they want to eat that baby, because they already cannibals. You know, what do you think they're doing at that blood sacrifices? And what's that one place where they all go together with the owl?
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. You know? You want to say something?
They doing pedophilia.
Yeah, Romans was also with it. Greeks was with it. They the same people.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's actually in the movie 300. Kinda. You know, they'll actually have the mentor, and he'll take the kid and go off into the woods. Right?
We got some phones. Look up pedophilia in Rome.
They scare kids. It's called androchondria or something like that. And they like drink the blood, and that's basically get them images.
Kim Kardashian, she was putting blood on her face, saying it rejuvenates her. What are you, a vampire? Oh yeah, her that placenta.
Yeah, Salakia.
And no eating placentas in Yasha Allah, man. You got polite talking about you supposed to eat the placenta. Look, what are you, a cannibal? Look, what are you, Texas Chainsaw? No eating the placentas in Israel, man. That's going to hell. The Lord said you're not supposed to eat with the blood, let alone eat a woman's placenta. Are you goddamn serious, man?
Right? Because it all goes back to the so-called white man, who's the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Bringing it out.
Look, man, we gotta bring it out, because nobody else will. You're not gonna have the churches bring it out. You're not gonna have the assistant managers that catching G's come out here on their breaks and, read out the scriptures.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
So it is birthright. Self-explanatory, man.
Another precept is Deuteronomy, and this is the law. That's why the scriptures say to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And the so-called white man don't speak, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. How can the Bible be a white man book when a white man don't do nothing that's in the Bible?
That's right.
It's not a man full of light, man. You gotta have the commandments to add a light, right? Like what is that, in Proverbs 6 and 23? Come on now. They don't have that. They like dwelling in darkness. Why do you think this whole world is covered in darkness? They live in darkness, in the caves. The bars that you go into, it's kind of dim lights, They could turn up the lights all the way if they wanted to, but they like to keep it dim. Because they like that, they're going back to their natural habitat, man.
That's right.
And a lot of bars in New York, they kind of underground. You gotta go downstairs and go into the bar. It's weird, man. It's an odd spirit.
That's right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12 and verse 22. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, meaning two clean animals, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike, meaning the unclean man and the clean man shall both eat clean foods. It reads thus in verse 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee and with thy children when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord said don't eat it 3 times. 3 is emphasis when you know about numerology in the scriptures, man. So the Lord, in other words, is saying, if you eat this, you off, man. Basically, you off as hell. You got an unclean, vile spirit on you, man. And that's why these so-called white people like to eat with the blood.
I have a raw, bloody steak, please.
Yeah.
And they eating it, and look, man. Blood on their lips, and blood on their guts, and blood in their hair. Damn dummy.
And then wash it down. And then they
wash it down with all that coffee, you know, energy drinks.
Yeah.
They love that. It got them going.
Yeah, their body's their wasteland, man.
Salakia. Say that again, King. They wash it down with what? They wash it down with all that coffee in the morning and them energy drinks. It gets their racism going.
That's right, because you a damn beast. Only a beast with like stimulants and eating with blood, man. Right?
They gotta wake up the racism in them, man. You know, you know they say too. You know, I'm not myself without my cup of Joe. You know,
Right.
I need my cup of Joe. If I don't have it, I'm not me.
I'm a coffee type of guy.
They can't be racist to the top of their ability, to the best of their ability, without their coffee, you know, their eggs, their bacon. You know,
That's a new one, top of their ability.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Salakia. And that's why Israel don't really get into all that, man. Well, you got some wicked jakes that get into that, but majority of the Israelites, like they meat well done, right? Then you go to these cookouts, man. Jake damn near burning the hot dogs, man.
not to say it. A lot of Jake like their hot dogs crispy and burnt. If you don't like it crispy and burnt, you kind of going on.
You got a spirit on you.
You should want to like it crispy and burnt, man.
Right.
'Cause you know, it's real. Look, man, that's delicious, man.
That's right.
Verse 27, and it reads thus: a man also, a woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. Right, and we enter into the times of Halloween, and you got a lot of witches and warlocks, those that deal with witchcraft, familiar spirits, and all type of Satanism. And they use things dealing with blood. They drink the blood for more power from the spiritual demon Satan. That's why they all marveling at the blood moon, the blood with moon. They going into the solar eclipse trying to gain power from the sun. That's why the Lord said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. Because all these heathens and these witches and warlocks, they dismayed at that, man. Right? You got Esau putting up curses on the men of the Lord, brothers having nightmares and dreams and visions, all because the so-called white man is a goddamn devil, man.
That's right.
You got it.
You gotta remember that lady? Her name was Madam something, and she was on TV. Y'all remember her name? She was like a science, or not a scientist, but a witch. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, all these politicians
Yeah.
are witches, man. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Well, I call her Hillary Clinton, man. Right?
Well, wait a
Because-
minute.
Yeah.
She eat blood,
Yeah.
and she eat the babies. She got exposed for that during the Pizzagate.
You talking about on TMZ? The woman that was Salakia.
You had on TMZ a woman talking about we gotta eat the babies.
Oh
gotta kill the babies,
That's
yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
She said you gotta eat the babies to reduce climate change.
Yep.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you're a pollutant. Too much CO2. We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies.
Man, Esau can't even be intellectual. We're trying to, make a point.
Right.
Eat the babies. What are you talking about? We're talking about trying to say to what? Eat the babies. What are you talking about?
Right.
And Salaki, you had the people just sitting around with honey, just sit down. Look, you supposed to choke her ass out, man.
Supposed to call her from among your people.
That's right.
So look,
right.
man, Esau should have said, get the hell out, but Esau is like that.
Salaki, her blood should have been upon her, man. For all that wickedness, man.
Esau is probably happy somebody said it. The top officials, the kings and the princes of this world, they was probably happy as hell that she actually came out and said it. So go to where you at.
And I still got some more in this NAMBLA.
Oh yeah, that's what was going on.
So you had 100 felony counts of 24 men of the involvement of statutory rape of boys aged 8 to 15. And it say age, Salaki, it say age 8 to 15, but we know them to be younger, man, through the spirit. You know, because Esau's the devil. All right? You know? It say, right? It say they engaged in sexual activity. The men were members of a sex ring, right? So they basically made the boys and little girls do sexual things to them, and they filmed it. They say, Burns said the arrest was the tip of the iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg, just in other words, that's just a small portion of what's really going on. Meaning it's bigger than what we expect. Okay, Salak.
Right. Look, man. You got Jeffrey Epstein. I want to mention, he had an island dedicated to molesting and raping them babies and them girls. Right? It's actually a cold cut on it.
Hey,
we did a cold cut on that.
Hey, just one YouTube channel. Alright, Damon. Yeah, Damon. Yeah, man. She probably like it, you know, bloody, you know. They say Boston Magazine described NAMBLA as the most despised group of men in America. Right? Because you the most despised. Everybody hates you. Right? We don't deal with pedophiles up here, man. We cut them up. Right? We tell them where to go to hell. You going in slavery, you going in chains for molesting little boys, man. If you advocating the molestation of little boys, then look, you supposed to be put to death. According to Romans, the 1st chapter.
And you really are going to be put to death because the Most High going to do it. Yeah. The Most High going to send his death angels to do it to you. You're going to have to deal with it. Right? You've been a wicked man. Let's go back. Brother, you got a minute? For the Bible? Yeah. You know your nationality?
Black and white.
What's your father?
Father black.
Right.
White.
Okay. You believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to read you something real quick. Go to Deuteronomy 20:68. And then I want Exodus 20:2.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
You familiar with Moses?
Somewhat, yeah.
So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites, saying, look, you're going to go back into Egypt all over again. But mind you, they already left Egypt. But he's saying, look, y'all going to go back into Egypt all over again. But to get more understanding, we're going to break down the word Egypt, right? Because it's not found, there's no account in the Bible when he went back into Egypt. So we're going to break down the word Egypt to get a better understanding of the verse. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Out of the house of bondage. So it's telling us that Egypt is the house of bondage. That's the definition in the scripture. So we're going to apply it back to this verse to get some understanding.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
We now know and have a proper understanding. Egypt just means bondage, captivity, house of servitude, back into slavery, or in a house of bondage all over again with ships. Go on.
By the way, where have I spoken to thee? Thou shalt see it no more again.
Right? Because once you get on that ship, you go into one you at one place and you go into a destination, right? Go on.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
Once you get off that ship, you're going to be sold into your enemies.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right, for slave masters. And no man's going to redeem you. So what people in history went through that process are going on a boat, going to another land, getting off the boat, and sold into their enemies. For slave masters. Which people did that happen to?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, brother.
You heard of slavery before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that ring a bell?
12 tribes, yeah.
Does that verse ring a bell to slavery?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's talking about us. Because we're the only people on earth whose ancestors came here on slave boats. And once they got off those boats, they were sold into their enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, which are slave masters. And once we were sold off into slavery, we went through a whole bunch of other curses. But we're gonna go into those curses. Go to verse 54. We're gonna show you a few.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
Right? So, what does that sound like? An evil eye towards your brother. Huh? Yeah, you know, the devil's, you know, messing with him. But, you know, we'll call that your so-called black on black crime. Because he has an evil eye towards you. He has ill intention towards you. You know, he might want your chain. He might want your shoes. He might want your girl. He might even want you. If you know what I mean. He might want you.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
He's going to have evil eye towards not only you, but towards the wife of his bosom. So you got domestic violence. So, you know, we have the highest rate for that. Along with so-called black, you know, crime rates within our own community. Go on.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Shall stay and nurture.
Which he shall lead.
Take him to football games.
Which he shall lead.
McDonald's.
Which he shall lead.
Which he shall lead. So who's known for leaving their children? So-called black men. I remember being in high school, I could ask everybody, or if I could point out everybody who didn't have a father in their life. It was damn near the whole class. So it's not a coincidence. This is an actual curse. That's known amongst our people and our people only. Because you look at Chinese families, they all together. You know, you got the father, you got the granddad walking down the street. You might even have the great-grandfather. And then, you know, the great-grandsons, they all together. Same goes for the Indian family. Same goes for the white family. Same goes for the African family. Because they all working together. They all got stores together. Except for us. We're a lost cause. You know? But we found, because, you know, we found this Bible and we know what's up. But we're going to go through a few more curses.
Verse 47.
Bring it out.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
So once we got off those boats, we were serving our enemies. And one of what?
And hunger.
So where do you go when you're hungry? Anywhere. It could be that 7-Van liquor store. It could be Coney Island, Mr. G's. It could be Captain J's. It could be Happy's Pizza. Now let me ask you something. Do we own those stores? Nah. Really our enemies. So we gotta go to them if we're hungry. If we're famished, you better go to Happy's Pizza.
I just asked him to help me out $2 from close, and they're like, no, I can't even do it. I was like,
We're broke men. We're broke people.
damn.
So we go into our enemies and want all things, you name it. Especially food. But what else?
And in thirst.
And then thirst. Your Dasani, your Sprite, your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, your Starbucks. Your what's that? What's next? Your Fanta, your water, your Pepsi.
Your deer pocket, aquaponic Phoenix level. Whatever.
Your E&J, your heavy Hennessy, you know, your dark liquor, you know, your White Claw. You gotta go to so-called white men in the East Indian, in the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs. You gotta go to them. Lee Beauty Supply Store. If you see a black man behind that counter, you lying. You're not gonna find a black man behind that counter. You know Asians own that. So this is messed up. Let's keep reading.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Meaning if you're naked and you want some clothing, you gotta go to so-called white man. You want your Versace, you want your Nike, you want your Levi, you know, you want your Adidas, you better go to the so-called white man. You know why? Because we're not gonna see a big ass Nike store on 8 Mile in Van Dyke. Owned by black people. You're not gonna see that. If you see that, you dreaming. You better wake up, you know?
Better pinch yourself.
Yeah, pinch yourself. You're dreaming.
I understand the movie, man. I got to head around, so I try to, you know what I'm saying, catch the bus.
Alright, we got a YouTube channel.
You can check it out.
All right.
Yeah, we got an email there on too.
You an Israelite.
Yeah, you an
God
Israelite.
chosen people.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, all praises. Back to NAMBLA.
And the Lord is going to sift out the house of Israel.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, confusion. I thought the brother might have been an Ephraimite.
Yeah, I did
times
too.
He's a Judite, man.
Yeah.
You know, so back to this wickedness.
Oh, NAMBLA, man. Look, man.
Right? So what we doing right now is waking up Jake and exposing the wickedness of the devil, man. Right? And the devil is the so-called white man. If you didn't know, who are the Edomites according to the Bible.
And the best way to wake up Jake is by exposing and uncovering the veil.
book of John, chapter 12, verse 31. Now it's the judgment of the world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
Right.
Hell out, man. Kick rocks.
Read that
That's
again,
right.
man. You gotta read that again, man.
And you know, remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? How they always kick that one dude out? Yeah, Jazz. Look, man, that's how America's gonna be thrown out of this world.
That's how Martin,
and that Harlem.
Salakia Martin kicking out Pam, man. Tommy, get out. We're gonna throw you the hell out,
He
man.
be like, step.
Yeah, it's just
Step,
get
man.
the step in. That's what we're gonna say to you damn Edomites, man.
Right.
Bring it up.
This the book of John, chapter 12, verse 31. Now it's the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
They're gonna be cast the hell out, man. They had their time to rule. It's over. The war.
And if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me.
That's right. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, and verse. No, I'm in 2 Corinthians. Salakia.
On the other topics.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. It say, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Right. So
Disobedient, man.
Yeah.
Those people that's disobedient right now, they the same ones that's down with the program.
Yeah.
You know, Esau say, you know, look, man, do this. They'll say, okay. They'll say, Esau say jump, and they'll say high.
Right.
Right? Because they're disobedient. They'll do everything that the Esau say, but now Yahweh shot, and Heavenly Father.
Salaki, and those are those that got the mark of the beast, man, which is a spiritual mark, man. All right, because you working for the spiritual name of Satan, you doing the works of the so-called white man.
You come into his image, man. Oh, I'm gonna finish on that NAMBLA.
This goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
Right? If you down with NAMBLA and doing the works of NAMBLA with no, accusation of repentance, you have the mark of the beast, man. That's what the mark of the beast is, man. Keep reading on to it. NAMBLA information. It reads, they engaged in sexual activity. The men were members of a sex ring. Bernie said the arrest was the tip of the iceberg. In other words, it was just a small portion of what's really going on. How the hell is 100 arrests the tip of the iceberg? How the hell is a whole sex ring just the tip of the iceberg? Reading on. It say Boston Magazine described NAMBLA as the most despised group of men in America, which was founded mostly by eccentric, boy-loving leftists.
Right, and that's why they try to push that liberal movement, man. So when you on the left, you real liberal. You know, you less I forgot the word. You less conservative, right? Those conservatives, they like to keep it traditional, right? Those liberals, they say, you can do this and a third. You can be whoever you want. You can be a homosexual. You can be a ecosexual. You can be a robosexual.
I got a precept on that too.
If one day you feel like a cow, you can actually be a cow.
You can marry a cow. You can
go through the procedures to turn into a cow.
Yeah, you can have sex with a cow. You can let a cow do things, blow you out, basically.
Yeah, you can have a cow blow you out, as he said.
Liberals, that's that left hand side work.
Yeah, we got it right here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, and verse 6. I start at 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the cherub said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak violently, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Meaning you gonna walk vile. Meaning you gonna utter perverse things before your Habashim Yahushua. Like you can lay with an animal, right? You can break a cow, right? You can be a pedophile. You can molest little boys. That's walking villainly. right? I believe I pronounced that right.
Got it. You got Edomite girls that get branded out by horses. They do that.
One Edomite man, he's trying to have sex with a horse, and the horse killed him.
Yeah, that horse killed him, man. So he got blown to smithereens. Go to yours, Proverbs 113.
That's off as hell. Highly sounding spirit.
16.
Party in the USA spirit, man. Bring it up.
This book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 16. Who they sleep not, except they have done mischief.
They can't go to sleep unless they do some mischief. An Edomite, so-called white man, he cannot go to bed unless he sleep with a chicken. He can't do it. Brother, you got a minute?
We got a YouTube channel, brother.
He cannot get the proper amount of rest until he kill a Jake. He can't do it, man. Look, man, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Go on.
And their sleep is taken away unless they call some to fall.
They gotta call somebody to fall, right? If Jake didn't bear false witness, so like if an Edomite didn't bear false witness against a Jake, look, he can't sleep. He's gonna be up all night. He's gonna have nightmares. All because he can't, because he didn't let somebody fall. Or didn't make somebody fall.
Salakia. Right, Salakia, it's a founded mostly by eccentric boy-loving leftists. Right, you don't want to call yourself a leftist, man.
Because first of all, the left-hand side represents wickedness, man. Right? You got angels on the right-hand side and you got angels on the left-hand side. Right? So if you on the left-hand side, meaning you work in wickedness. Right? I believe that's Psalms.
Yeah, man. Go to Psalm 94.
This one in
Middle Eastern dude. Shalom.
Shalom, King. Shalom, man. How about you? What's your name? What's your name?
Brother Ray. Brother Ray, man.
Yeah, man. Israel, we waking up, man. The so-called white man. Kwam Yashala, man. Right. Straight up.
I had to come back, man. Y'all just made me feel a whole lot better than when I was going.
Amen. All praises. All praises.
All praises.
Kwam Yashala!
Kwam Yashala!
Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala!
That's right, man. Israel waking up, man. That's right. You devil scared of that, man. That's right.
That's right.